Welcome back to What's Hot, guys. I'm Uncle Timothy.
And I'm Lovedale.
And we're still here with Dan Aziz. And right now we're going to get into our trending segment where we talk about what's online and what's trending in the news. So guys, A-levels. We've all heard about the mishap with the results. What do we think?
It's disappointing. I feel like the government has failed students. Already they've had a hard time due to going into lockdown, which has obviously affected the way that they're receiving their education. They've worked really hard to try and do what they need to do. So for the government to then try and use a computer, an algorithm, to give them a grade, I think is really unfortunate. We saw that certain areas were more adversely affected, and I think that wasn't by mistake.
Of course,
right? So, and now they've had this U-turn of saying, okay, we're going to go with your teacher's recommendations, but because of this, universities had already turned down certain students, had already started to accept other students. So it's all a big mess. It's all a big mess.
Well, to be honest, it is. I agree with everything you're saying, but I don't know, what do you think they should do? What, take the year again, or?
No, I think the way they did the grades, from what I've heard, isn't right. I think, look, it's hard because of the whole COVID situation. Now we have to go off, we don't have the exams. But I think you should trust your teachers that look after these students to give the right predicted grades. And I think that's what should have happened in my view. And I think that's what's happening with GCSEs. I know it's a lot to entrust a teacher to say, because look, teacher has their favorites, there's still human error. But I don't like the idea that like a kid's school or where he studies can determine his grade.
100%.
Exactly.
And to be honest, I wouldn't really like that teacher predicting stuff, because me, when I was in school, I was all over the place and I was predicted really bad grades. But literally, it was like the last month or two, I thought, nah, let me snap, and I got good grades. So if I was in that position, I just would have.
That happens a lot. I feel like they should have had things like essays, submit essays around certain topics, that sort of thing, and used sort of combination of things to judge what grade they should come in. Because I agree with you on that thing of where just because you did a mock earlier on, people really work hard and really surpass.
My mocks were terrible.
But then you do what you have to do for your real exam. It's a mentality thing. So I think they should have used a combination to be more fair to the students.
Yeah, I definitely think a combination, but I just think that what's going on now, because we're talking about kids' lives. Like going from A-level to uni is a huge jump. People have packed, they've already set their minds. Like when I was in college, I was so set, I was like, I'm going to move to London. If I'd found out this was the reason why I'd take it away, when you come and see me doing rampage on the streets, don't look at me left weird. You know what I mean? Don't look at me weird. I'm now rebelling, and I think even now with the universities having to like do so much to like accept students, push the maximum students in a class, and then we're all talking of COVID. It's tough, right? So next topic, guys. Obviously, coronavirus is still in the air, but Wuhan have had, well, the place where coronavirus has started has had a party, and so I guess they're showing progression. But how are we coping with it? What do we think are the next steps? Do we think Wuhan was right for having a party? What's our thoughts?
I think it's we should see that as encouragement. To me, to see how, they had a very strict lockdown, and seeing how far they've come since the breakout, it gives hope for us. It might be difficult now, but if we kind of take the right measures, how I feel is if we take the right measures, in a few months' time, in a year's time, we will be able to go back to having our big events that we miss. So rather than kind of like criticising, like, how can they win? That's where it started. No, they've done what they needed to do, and this is the result. So I think we should just take some hope from that.
Obviously it's touched you personally.
I definitely agree. But I don't know, what was there, like, have they done testing to show that it's still decreasing and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think I think from what I've read is they're one of the places that's done the most rigorous testing. So I think they've recorded no cases for a while. Their economy started booming. They've even attracted tourists. So they're kind of ahead or advanced in their process of dealing with it than a lot of other places, which obviously is hard to take into context when we're dealing with it right now. But I don't know, I think I like your idea. It is empowering, it is positive.
Of course.
I just think there is a conversation to be had about how countries are going to maneuver out of this, because while some countries are going to progress and do parties or have events, even sports, there are going to be also some countries that are still in lockdown. So like, for example, I'm sure you'd love a box, like a full...
Of course, no, definitely. For my next fight, we have to like seclude for, it's about 3 or 4 days. So I'm going to be locked in a hotel for 3-4 days. Like, I've got to make weight, everything, like whatever exercise I'm doing, I can't leave the confinements of the hotel, otherwise my fight could be in jeopardy. So that's going to be something different as well. You know, I'm used to being in my own space, especially coming up to fight night, because I start getting moody, I'm eating less, I'm trying to so, but to just be in a hotel, me and my coach, it's going to be something different. And hopefully that is encouraging. It shows like from the place where it started, you know, they're enjoying life. So hopefully,
God willing, it comes to us.
Exactly.
It comes to us. I mean, I encourage everyone to get tested as well. I think it's an important thing. I guess you've been tested.
I've been tested about 2-3 times actually, and then I'll get tested again for my fight. So
Good. All right. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for all your comments. It's now time to play our game, What's Hot.